Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. My name is John, and you have now joined me in the world-famous Sipping Den. On this channel, I do everything that has anything to do with alcohol. And if that isn't enough, and we all know that it is, I do a world-famous Sunday morning coffee review. And in order to keep up with all these beautiful things that I review, and by the way, another unique thing, is that I'm the only one in the world that can do it. And I have cracked the code to YouTube, which means I have cracked the code to their playlists, and I have categorized and subcategorized every single category of what I review and made it so easy for you to find that it's, I did it and really can't even describe it. I have to ask you to go over to the playlist and see how amazing it is. And furthermore, every comment, the first one is pinned because it always has a link to whatever I'm reviewing. In this case, it's bourbon, and you're getting a treat today. Now, this bourbon here goes for a lot of money, and it's very hard to find. If you found it for retail, it's not that much money, but it's very, very hard to get on retail. A lot of times it's on lottery, or you have to buy it on the secondary, and it becomes very expensive. And you know what? It was loaned to me. It was loaned to me from Jacob Jacoby, a name that's been on this channel lately. And he had no reservations about loaning me this Weller 12. All right, there it is. Weller 12. And we're not going to go through all this on the back. I don't want to bore you. It's not that important. The front, though, Weller. The original wheated bourbon, aged 12 years. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 90 proof. As part of the wheated bourbon family, this 12-year-old W.L. Weller is aged far longer than most wheated bourbons. This offering is a smooth, easygoing, and balanced bourbon with a beautiful deep bronze color, which I'll let you see here in the bottle. So, Weller 12, Weller Black Label. Let's get into it. I'm excited. Wheated, what does that mean? We all know that bourbon must be a minimum of 51% corn in the recipe, also known as the mash bill. Usually, and then they all have malted barley, small amount. Usually that middle ingredient is rye. Less common would be wheat, okay? So it would be corn, rye, malted barley. This one's corn, wheat, malted barley. And then there are the four grains: corn, wheat, rye, malted barley. This one is what they call a wheated bourbon. So what we'll do is we will put the tiniest amount into this Glencairn, and I will coat the whole glass real nice. All right, just because that will give me the best nose on the planet. Let me clean this up. Coat that glass with a little bit of your whiskey. Be amazed what happens. All right. The whole glass is coated. There's a little bit on the bottom. All that aroma is in there. Now, 12 years and you can tell, because you can smell the influence of that wood. You can smell the influence of that oak, not only in the woody, oaky type smell. This is wheat now. Wheat is softer. If you think of wheat bread compared to rye bread, right, that's we're getting corn sweet. Malted barley, not much usually in there. Gives more of a chocolate nutty flavor. In general, I'm not talking about this one. We'll see what this has. So on the nose, I'm not getting a bunch of sweetness, which you would think. But because that 12 years in that brand new oak charred barrel has given the smell more of a oaky and slightly smoky with underlying sweetness. Kind of a dark fruit cola smell. Let's put a little more in here. We'll check the color in the glass. We'll get it back in. This ain't mine. I can't get too generous with it. That's good. Hell, even that. Somebody lends you something like this, you got to respect it. All right, so here it is. All right, there's the color. I'm even going to pour a little more back. So it is a nice dark bronze. Now we'll get a smell with it like this. It's changed a little. It is like a dark cola underlying the wood, the smoke, the dark fruit. Almost like a honey that's been aged in bourbon barrels. I know that sounds ridiculous, but some honey is actually aged in barrels and in ex-bourbon barrels, and it gives the honey a different flavor and smell than a honey that hasn't been in that. That's what this smells like. Instead of just getting like a honey smell or a sweet smell, I'm getting a honey that has been aged in wood, aged in the bourbon barrel. Dark fruits, cola. Nice sweetness of that wood, the vanilla, lanolins, which is the vanilla. Let's give it a taste. Let's give it an acclimation sip. I have a lot to say, but I'm going to wait to the second one to really dive into the taste. You got to have that acclimation sip. So now we'll do it. So right away, what was noticeable from the first sip, I didn't want to mention it till the second sip. And now, of course, it's even less noticeable because I took the acclimation sip, is the 90% alcohol content, the lack of a burn. I think it's still got that alcohol in it, right? 90 proof, 45% of liquid in here is alcohol, but that wood has softened it and added so much that it's kind of hidden that typical burn. And the fact that there's no rye spice in there, but the sweet, soft wheat has toned that down immensely. As I drank it, I could smell. It's great. Helps you really taste it. Again, aged honey aged in a barrel, in a bourbon barrel. It added that flavor to that honey in here. Not a fresh, sharp honey, just aged honey. A little bit of cola. Of course, the wood. Of course, the vanilla that imparted. A tiny, tiny bit of spice coming out of that wood. Not a flavor, but a feel, the softness of that wheat. That last little bit, I got some orange. Grand Marnier, an orange liqueur. It finished in a brandy or with cognac. Grand Marnier, I believe, is 51% cognac, an orange liqueur, and that's kind of the orange flavor that I got from that. So that's interesting, and I'm sure. And this has been opened and it's been down, so it's out of the neck. And I'm sure if I sat here and poured another one and took enough time, I would get a lot more. But that's about what I'm getting out of it. It's very interesting. It's very nice. And Jacob, thank you, man. This is a big score for the channel here. Don't forget to subscribe, right? The opening statement alone should have knocked you off your feet. I appreciate it. Talk to me. Talk to you back, right? And other from that, I'm excited to have it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're ever looking for it, I hope you can find it. It's hard for me to find. Like I said, this one was loaned to me. An amazing gift to the channel. All right, Jacob, thank you. Everybody, thank you. And I'll see you all in the next one.